Hello, people. Welcome back to Follow That. Hope you are doing well. Now then, chances are, if you are watching this, then you are sick to death of these Avengers and trying to destroy these Avengers. But don't worry, I am here for you. So I'll just quickly skip through some of the early stuff and then we'll get on to where I think most people are probably failing the mission or getting frustrated or annoyed, as I was. So I'm not a great flyer. So for the first bit, really, you just got to keep low and have stealth mode on, go under that bridge, and then that's it. That was easy, and compared to what follows, definitely is easy. Okay, so for the targets, so make sure that you've got your missiles auto lock enabled, and then it's pretty simple. You just fly towards them, the auto lock will come on, and then you are away. And it is really important on this to get a good score, so e.g. over 50, and I will explain and show you why that is and why I got so annoyed the first time that I played the latter stages of this mission when you have the dogfight. And actually, I quite like this mission. There's touches of the new Top Gun in there with kind of the dogfight in the sky, flying through the canyon. There's elements of that. I can see they got a little bit of inspiration from that. Anyway, so their training scored 70. This one, the first one, I didn't realise that I was still in stealth mode until I was almost entirely done. So I only scored 20 on the first time that I tried it. And look, you end up with 2 Avengers. And there are no lives on there either. 2 Avengers, so you want to get a good score. Alright, most important thing, so look, here I'd take one for the team, go up close and see what damage. You hardly do any damage with the missiles. But I think what Rockstar wants you to do is, this is a skill mission, switch to the cannons. Look at that damage start to come down. So the cannon inflicts by far the most damage, but obviously there's no auto aim on there, so it's much, much harder, and your flying skills got to be better. So the other challenge, of course, the Avenger fights back. You can't just hover in front of it like I'm doing here and hope that everything's going to be okay, because there you go. Your beautiful jet gets damaged and that thing will outlast you. So you've got to be flying whilst using that all-powerful cannon. And it's a new type of cannon as well, I think. So anyway, so there it ruined my plane. Like I said, I'm just taking one for the team. But you don't have to do it that way. Alright, so I'll come back to that and let's go into probably the most fun part of this, taking out the helis and the jets with your new jet. So if you start with the helis, so you can fly towards them, use the auto aim, which isn't that reliable and that great, considering it's against helis. I actually think something like the Sparrow does a better job. But for those helis there, you can just go into the hover mode, line them up and take them out. And that's probably the easiest rather than flying past them multiple times. The ones you don't want to do that with are the ones that have the missiles that fire back at you, because otherwise you're a sitting duck. Whereas these first 4, you can do that. So you can usually get one of them with these missiles. Oh, there you go, 2. Perfect. So my aim was bang on there. The angle was bang on. But the whoa dear. That was way too close. With these latter ones, there we go. Try and take out the first one with one of the missiles. Bang. There we go. Second one, and switch on the switch on the hover, turn and get them. Right, now we are into the really fun stuff with the jets. And for these jets, obviously, don't fly in a single line. If you're constantly veering in one direction, that's by far the best way. Because obviously you're trying to get behind those jets. If you try and take them on head on, chances are one of those missiles is going to get you, because there's a lot more of them than you. Which if you keep veering like this to the left, you can get behind them, and bizarrely the auto aim works a lot better against jets than it does against the helis. So there we go, that got him, you heard him. Go, and then we have the Avenger. So top tip on this, take out the jets and the helis first, because they will get you whilst you are trying to line up those Avengers, and while you're sat there wondering why on earth they are not taking any damage. Well, probably as you know from your own Avenger, the armour on them, particularly if you upgraded them, is pretty amazing. Takes a lot of hits to take out one of those. So, now, that was the final heli, and we are onto it. Like I say, I did fine in my target score, so we are good to go now for the next bit. Okay, and just to show you one more potential way that you might be failing this, is I found if you fly beneath the Avenger, then they're more likely to hit you. So there, just got a good shot in, veering around. Look at that, it actually hit, but there's almost minimal damage that it took. Right, for this one, I'm trying to get nice and close to it there, got a good hit, did a tiny bit of damage. So there, this one, I'm below, I'm really close, you see they got me. So if you're directly in their line of fire, well, as you might expect, then you take a lot more damage, and then once we're smoking at this stage, it actually survives quite a long time when it's smoking, but ultimately if I got this many hits to get, then there's only one way it's gonna end, and that is badly. Boom, there we go. So you see I was just in its exact line of fire there. Whereas if you're above it and you do your sweeps, that works way better. It very, very rarely will get a hit in on you. So one tactic that I found, and this is, so I used a little bit of the cannon, but I found it really difficult to aim well. And if your skill is that high that you can consistently hit it with the cannon, then I reckon you're not watching this video anyway. Or you're going to have a little gloat in the comments, and well done you. Certainly a better pilot than me, that's for sure. Probably most people. So one thing I have found is if you fly past, put on the brakes for the hover, line up the shot, and then start your flyby, then you usually get 2 good shots in, and the damage comes down a lot more quickly. Obviously not as quickly as the cannon, but if you're using the auto aim missiles, then great. So eventually you get to this point, bang, where it's almost goes down so incredibly slowly. We're there, we're almost in the red zone, and one more hit. No, I didn't get him. Another, I think I must have missed on that one. Okay, so we'll line him up, do a nice fast fly past on this one, and then the final shot, and we can end this mission that started out huge amount of fun. Look at that, what a sight for sore eyes. And yeah, I will admit it took me well over 20 minutes to do this. Obviously with the joys of editing on YouTube, I'm showing you much quicker, but that way was slow, and obviously I was very, very delicate on landing it. One thing is you can't finish the mission with your jets in that hover position for the actual jet. You have to reset it to normal, and then you can land properly. So there we go, which made me wonder, oh no, is there something else I hadn't done? But anyway, apart from the Avengers, that's a really fun mission. But those Avengers make it pretty painful. So anyway, I hope that helped you out. If you've got any other tips, let other people know in the comments. I'm sure there's lots of frustrated people out there wondering how best to complete this. Alright, take care. Speak to you soon.